Welcome back, Ember County. Joined this morning with my favorite dentist, doctor in the county, Dr. Ask.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good to see you.
It's
Welcome
good to see
back.
you again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome back. We
Great
missed
to be
you.
here.
Good.
Well, it's been a few months.
There's something to be said about a guy that works on teeth and is going to come and tell you how to keep your teeth healthy, which is almost kind of like cutting away at your own business, but you're out for the better of the people.
That's
I guess.
exactly right.
So here to talk about something that we like, but it's not really good
It's
for
not
us.
good for you.
So we're going to talk about sweet tooth today, okay?
Yes, sir.
And everybody loves sugar.
Yes.
Everybody. In fact, do you know that we have 35 cubes of sugar a day on the average? And some people are consuming more, so that less, so that means a lot more people are consuming more. So this is 35 cubes of sugar in one day. Every day.
Natural sugar or
Regular sugar.
Regular
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah, in one form or another.
Wow.
Okay, so there's all kinds of different forms. In fact, I've learned quite a bit in that when you look at all the different ingredients, there's a lot of different things in here that you don't even recognize, like asulfame potassium. I didn't know that was a sugar. Okay,
No.
and it is. Okay, it's an artificial sweetener. So let's talk about this. So do you know 64% of us now are overweight. Okay.
Duh.
Yeah, and 36%.
Why do you both look at me when you say that?
No, we're talking about ourselves. 36% of us are obese of that 64%. So, and then
An old beast.
obese. Yeah. and what's happening with the cost of health care is like a 1/5 of all the health care now is from obesity.
Wow.
Okay, high blood pressure, all
Cholesterol.
this stuff. Yeah, right. And they're actually making the airline seats bigger now. They're making buses bigger. They're making the door on buses, on school buses, bigger so that the kids can get through it.
My goodness. How terrible. Well, that's sad. In a way, that's kind of sad.
Okay, so with all the research and everything they're doing, what we're going to talk about is, okay, now we're going from sugar into sugar substitutes. Okay, so we're going to talk about the different sugar substitutes. Okay, okay, so here's our regular sugar. Okay, and then there's sweet. About 1879, they found sweet and low. And the way I can't remember all the different
How
words.
old is that?
Over 120 years old.
I didn't know
okay,
that.
Yeah, and sweet and low. And so the way I'm remembering this is the low taste has the aftertaste. Okay, so and then they thought at first that it caused cancer, but
It's the saccharins.
well, it's cancer in rats, and it's because to technical is that it precipitated in the rats' kidneys and it formed little tumors, but it doesn't have that process in humans. So the FDA, they've researched all of these things, and there's all kinds of different stories on the internet about what
And you
causes
believe them.
cancer. Well, you take everything, you read everything, and
Yeah.
you read
With a grain of sugar. You
Yeah.
take everything with a grain of sugar.
There you go.
Okay. So there's a lot of different thoughts out there on what's harmful and what's not. But there's some new things, and that is that much of the sugar is a high fructose sugar, and we think that fructose, that's good, right? Because it's in fruit.
Right.
Okay, not.
No.
Okay, what happens with fructose is it's metabolized in the liver. Okay, whereas regular sugar goes immediately to the sugar rush into your bloodstream. Okay, and so you don't have that satisfying feeling like the adrenaline rush and the sugar rush, and so we tend to consume more because we're not quite satisfied. Okay, and so that's the danger of fructose. And corn syrup and most of the sugars that we have has over 50% fructose. So it's a false sense. That's why we eat more, because
Isn't it
we're not
because the
satisfied.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
isn't it the sugar kind of stimulates your appetite and it makes you want to eat more?
Just the opposite.
It doesn't.
Yeah, once you have a blood sugar, you get more satisfied, and whereas the fructose metabolized in the liver doesn't create that response very quickly to make you feel satisfied.
Okay.
So then you eat more.
Tell us about equal.
Okay, so equal is aspartame. Okay, and that's breaks down into aspartic acid and phenylalanine and methanol. Okay, and so they say this is really bad. Well, those three ingredients actually are found naturally in our body. We consume those things at a much higher level than the aspartame. So the idea here is it's pretty safe. Okay.
Wow, sounds like stuff that goes in your gas tank.
Okay, now cyclamates. You remember cyclamates?
Oh, absolutely.
I love cyclamates. They were great in the 70s when I was high school, and then they outlawed it. I go, that was stupid. But it's actually illegal in about 100 different countries, and they're reapplying for the FDA approval here in the United States.
You talk about great in the 70s. I couldn't
Cam! Okay, so now the next new thing is sucralose. Okay, and so that was approved actually in 1998, and only about 15% of this is absorbed, and it's just so it doesn't create the glycemic response, which means that you don't feel the sugar rush, or for diabetics, you don't have the diabetic response. Okay, so and again, the worst aftertaste is sweet and low.
Right.
Okay, and then so a lot of people. Okay, so let's talk about the next new things is agave. Hey, we said, hey, this agave stuff is really great. It's natural. Okay, so I started doing some research. Well, now they're selling a lot of it, and they're mass producing it, and they're producing this, and it's basically just like corn syrup, about 55% fructose. Okay, and so it's basically like corn syrup, but found naturally, done without process, without boiling it down. It's fine. Okay, it's more natural, but this is processed and it's concentrated.
That means that it's not fine.
Okay. So then the next new things is it's called stevia. Okay,
right.
And stevia is this right here. And why don't you taste a little bit of it? Okay, here.
I've had it. It's interesting.
No, here, put it in your hand. Okay, here we go. That's stevia. Okay, and that was found, that was discovered over 1,500 years ago. Okay, and it comes from a chrysanthemum family plant. And they've been using it in Paraguay. That's where it was discovered, and they've been using it ever since. Okay, and this so far they've done study after study after study after study. Okay,
and we have the right to an ad break. We're going to pay you up here. We'll be right back after these messages.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and